Hi, this is Tom Scheepmaker and you're listening to the Marvel Card Collectors podcast.
Don't make me laugh.
I'm not making you laugh. I'm just dancing.
You are dancing.
Dancing to the beat.
You make me feel like dancing. We can't open every episode with me singing.
Yeah, we
It's
can.
awfully narcissistic.
I love it. So
It's brilliant. Oh, it's our
if
podcast.
another person loves it, you're not narcissistic.
It is our
Because
podcast.
it's entertainment.
We can do what the F we want. So, hello everybody. My name is Ian Taylor and welcome to the Marvel Card Collectors podcast, brought to you by the Marvel Cards Fan Collective, an awesome community of card collectors and creators. You can find our two groups on Facebook, details of which are at the end of this podcast, so come check us out. With me is my co-pilot in all things Marvel cards. His name always gets auto-corrected to handsome. It's Norrin Rad.
That is the nicest thing you've ever said to me, and you've said a lot of nice things. That
I
is
have said
up
a
there.
lot of nice things. Yes.
That's really nice. Oh,
That's quite all right. That's
I'm
quite
gonna
all
write
right.
that down for myself as like a pickup when I'm like, just like a post-it. Just gonna be
Oh.
like,
Oh, I thought you meant a pickup. I was going to say, what would your wife say about that?
that's fair.
A
Be
pickup
like,
line,
hey
yeah.
babe.
Yeah. Hey, babe.
Well, I mean, the pickup line would be for her.
Oh, no. Hey, babe. My name gets auto-corrected to handsome.
She knows it. The real shame is that she's prettier than I am, so I don't get a lot of attention. You know, she gets the attention, which
Yeah, tell me about it.
I
mate.
never, that hurts my feelings.
We married up. I think it's fair.
But I married. That's the problem with marrying up, though. You know,
Mhm.
eventually you lose all the compliments you would be getting.
When you're in love with a beautiful woman. We probably have to pay royalties to them now for that. Is it Dr. Hook did that song?
I don't know.
It's a good song. It's a very good song.
I feel like I hear that song a lot, but I never have it. You know what I mean?
Yes. I do know what you mean. Anyway, are we on? We on? Yes.
on.
Oh, we have an audience. Hello, everybody. I completely just like forgot that we'd introduced the podcast and we're actually going then. Oh dear. Never mind. Nothing to see here. Move along. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being back here with this awfully amateur podcast that we're running here. What kind of shower is this? How's your week been? What's happening?
First week back, so just been super busy.
Oh, okay. Yes. Your
But
work is
in terms of card deliciousness,
Mm.
I've gotten almost everything I've wanted on ePack that I've been wanting.
Because you've been
And-
going after Marvel 80, haven't you?
Yes, so I haven't been. I bought a box, and I bought maybe 3 packs total. So that's all I've had.
Okay.
And I got a sketch from a very good friend, that people have been giving me trade offers like crazy for. But it's very weird. Like it's weird. I've never had something that's been like super desirable for people on ePack, and when that happens, you get a lot of mixed people reaching out to you. It's very strange. I don't know how you do it. Like personally for me, I'm like locking things up now because I'm like, I do not want to be bombarded. And then at the same time, I like the attention.
Yeah, it is quite stressful because some people are just repetitive. There are some people who always offer in a certain way. There are other people who just go after sketches and will offer you bulk. There are some people that will go after sketches and offer you other sketches, but multiples.
Right.
There are some people who offer sketches and just might actually look at your wish list and offer you 1 or 2 really good cards. So it does vary.
The one that really gets me, the one that upsets me the most are the ones that are like, they offer you something and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not really looking. Because I always message because I feel bad because, you know, what if they really want the sketch? So I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm really looking for another sketch or maybe cash or something of that nature. And I love it. I think we talked about this person, and getting back to me was, I don't know what you're doing because I give you a great trade and you should just take it. So I don't know what your problem is. And I was kind of like, wow, good job, man.
Unfortunately, that does exist, but we shouldn't.
Most of the time, it is not like that, though.
No. Most of the time, it isn't like that. And without wanting to crap where you eat, I've dialed that down from how I used to say it on this podcast because you have to spend half your time beeping out my swearing.
And I really appreciate that.
Good. There are Well, I was going to talk about this later on. We've had a really good start to the year in terms of the podcast. Our first episode back had the most listeners. And since Marvel 80th came out, last week's episode, we've had a whole lot more. And I've noticed it. And I think it's because we've both been on EPAX a lot with Marvel 80th, and we've both been proactively talking about it. And whenever we post on Blowout, I usually mention it and stuff like that. So I've had a couple of guys on the EPAX forum. I was talking about it yesterday, and there's a couple of guys going to give us a listen. I said I promise I'd give them a shout out. The first guy is a guy on EPAX, goes by the username of Brad Buzzkill. Nice guy.
He's
been
awesome.
around a while. Yeah, really nice guy. From what I can tell. I mean,
I like him a lot.
a lot of these guys, and possibly ladies, because who knows? It could be serial killers. They could be staring down a well and saying, "It puts the lotion in the basket," or "It gets the hose again," or something like that. Let's hope that they're not. So Brad Buzzkill.
Brad, by the way, so listeners understand, Brad Buzzkill has no association with the lotion serial killer.
No, with Buffalo Bill. No,
we're just talking in hypotheticals here.
Or the small poodle that is actually very much your type of dog.
It is my type. That's why my wife gets so excited to watch the movie, is because eventually we see the tiny poodle.
Oh.
It's the poodle's cameo.
Oh, wow. You're so weird.
There's a lot of movies with poodles in there. Little Women always have a famous poodle.
Is that generic for Small Women, or is that a movie?
Wow. No, it is not a Lifetime special. I'm talking about the book. Okay.
I'm aware the book exists, but it's not.
I'm aware it's very good. So just going to put that out there.
It's not my wheelhouse, really. So he did me a cracking trade this week, and I owe him next time I pull an Iron Man sketch. So thank you for that. Guys I was talking to yesterday, one of the guys I think is in Marvel Masterpieces Collectors, but I don't think he's in MCCW. Guy goes by the handle of Braber14, I think is his handle. So having a good chat with him yesterday. There's another guy called Vienna-Beef, who I just referred to as Beefy. Beefy. And there's a few other, and these are guys who've been on there a while. These are guys who really know what it's all about. And I've basically said to any of them, any of you are more than welcome to come on, or chat to us, or do a Skype or whatever like that. Because I'm quite keen to hear from the guys who do spend a lot of time and money on EPAX, who are kind of the bigger collectors. And you look at their collections, and we're talking 5-6 figures. Some of these guys, they've got 40, 50, 60, 70,000 cards. It's absolutely crazy. So anyway, shout out to those guys. But I just thought it was interesting. We've got a lot of new listeners. We've had a lot of new people coming into the group, which is good. And we've had some. It's kind of fresh blood, really, because of that, because they've been coming into the group. So it's interesting that they're posting a lot. They're kind of learning how we work as a community, and not everyone's into Marvel 80th, so they've kind of been posting less. So it kind of it swings and roundabouts. I remember when Marvel Masterpieces 2018 came out, and everyone was posting about that, and that's really tailed off. So it does, and everyone was posting about Flair, and it was weekly. So it comes and goes in waves, and then obviously people post the old school stuff as well. So there's room for everything old and new in the group, which I think is good, and hopefully we want to cover a lot of that old and new stuff on the podcast. It's not just all about EPAX. So but there's a couple of new guys I wanted to. Well, first of all, I'm going to shout out to Julie Bell. Julie, and if anyone listening doesn't know who Julie Bell is, get out of the hobby right now and don't let me put you on the backside.
Do yourself a favor and get educated.
Yeah, I am joking, of course, because
just kidding.
To the hobby. Julie is a very, very, very well-respected artist, and she has a great Instagram feed. And the other day, she posted a photo on her Instagram feed of her listening to earbuds while she's doing a painting. And she said that she listens to a certain podcast when she's painting. And I commented on the podcast Instagram feed, "Oh, and of course, I'm sure you listen to us as well." And she replied, "Yes, I do." So I'm like, wow. So, if any of you artist cats have got us in your earbuds or on your speakers when you're creating, that's the biggest blessing one could hope for. So thank you, Julie.
Wow, how awesome.
I thought that was really cool. And The other interesting thing about having new people in the group and new listeners as well, because they often go hand in hand, is you see cards that are busted on e-packs, and then they go up in the group, and then you'll see someone else pop up and say, "Oh, thank you for this trade. I've now got this," and you see the cards moving around, collectors.
Yeah.
You see them posting that the such and such pulled this, and then I traded this with him, and then he moved it to over there, and it's often 2 or 3 people removed, and it finally ends up in its forever home, which I think is quite interesting, and that's it's one of the benefits of the way that cards are traded on e-packs. It's instant. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
talking same day some of this stuff.
Yeah, I think it's I love that whole I love the whole nature of it, because it's just like you're hanging out with your friends and you get to trade with everybody you want.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And you can pick what you like, and that's the really crazy part. It's crazy to see. I mean, how much easier would that have been back in the day? See a whole spreadsheet of where all the cards are and what they look like, and you can kind of pick and choose and get good trade material for them. I mean, it's just awesome. Yeah.
So, so welcome all of you new listeners. So we are zoning in very, very, very quickly on one thing I mentioned a few weeks back, which is our proper mailbag. So this is going to kind of be a mailbag.
Yes. Mailbag
first part of this episode, which we haven't done for a little while, but we've got feedback coming out of our behinds. Fortunately, a few folk listening to the Marvel 80th episode that dropped last week have heeded the call and left us reviews on our Facebook page. Our Facebook page at the MCC Pod, or I think it's facebook.com/the MCC Pod, and Instagram and Twitter we're at the MCC Pod. And we've had some folk leave us some feedback, which is really good, and leave us some reviews on there. Obviously, anyone else who's listening who hasn't yet done so, please, it actually really does help us out.
Yes.
Or if you're not on Facebook and you don't do that, that's absolutely cool on the gang. You can go to iTunes, for example, leave us a review on iTunes, or even if you're not tempted to hit the review, just hit the star button and give us some mighty starage. So yeah, it just really helps us out. So I'm just bringing it up as we're talking, and we'll get onto the actual proper post in a moment. But oh, the internet is so slow. What are you doing? Here we go. So
What do you need to see?
this is one of our new listeners. These are the reviews that we've had on our Facebook page. So this is Robert Baker. Hello, Robert. Can I call you Bob? Bob Baker.
I never know what to do with that.
No,
but hello, Robert.
Yeah, I'm going to call you Robert, but to me you'll always be Bob. Man, what a great listen. First off, I'm learning all about this hobby and couldn't recommend this podcast enough. Very chill vibe and awesome people who run it. Oh, shucks. Thank you.
That's way too
Robert.
nice. Thank you,
That's really
friend.
kind. Thank you. And so I replied, thank you so much. And he replied, thank you. Now I have to catch up on every episode. It's like, yeah, too right. You do.
That's awesome.
So that's cool. There was another review, but for some reason it's not come up. So let me just see. For anyone who's ever managed or run a Facebook page, it's actually really quite confusing the way they lay it out. Do you find it confusing, the back end of
Yes, I do too.
Because it's all geared
because I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
It is very confusing.
First of all, and they're constantly hitting me with things that say, do you want to pay to boost this post? Do you want to pay?
Yeah, I get that. Right, we both get that.
Like,
the post thing.
It's like, yeah, sorry, please stop. So love that. So this other one is yesterday, Benjamin Kraft. G'day, Ben. I don't think you're Australian. I just felt like saying it, but thank you. Benjamin writes, just started episode 5 and I'm hooked. There isn't a single person that I know. Let me put my teeth back in and start again. There isn't a single person that I know personally that collects Marvel cards. Yeah, actually ditto. I mean, in the flesh.
Same over here too.
So it's nice to be able to listen to you guys talk about different sets and such. A friend of mine got me back into collecting as a kid. No, so it got me into collecting as a kid back in the early 90s, but these groups have gotten me back into it and it's a blast. Love the podcast. Keep up the great work, guys.
Thank you so much, Ben.
And he has replied, actually, because I this is the first time me seeing this reply, because he would have done it overnight, Martin. Oh my goodness, it's huge. Right. So he's gone on to say, you talk about the different types of collectors out there and the characters that different people focus on. I always enjoy hearing how people latch onto certain characters, and we are going to do a character collector episode.
We really should.
So no, it's on the radar.
Let's do it.
Potentially next week.
Done.
Yeah, what I'd like to do is get some of these character collectors on. I mean, I know you and me are character.
I'd love to do a roundtable. I think it'd be great to hear some different. I mean, we could. Well, yeah. There's plenty of collectors now who. It's funny. A lot of collectors have been reaching out to me, and they're like, "All right, I'm going for this person," and I was like, "Really?" And one in particular, who I guess we know who they are, but they have just like purchased a lot of this character, and they're just going ham on eBay and making the rounds and going to that Beckett list. So character collectors are sprouting up everywhere, man. It's happening.
We've got you know what I'd like to think? I'd like to think that we are, and I don't mean this flippantly, because I know this is I'm not even sure I should say this now. I'm going to say it anyway, because who am I to ever throttle me for saying inappropriate things? We are the Me Too movement of the character collectors. Because people are emboldened by the fact that others are stepping up and talking about it.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm probably going to regret saying that. I apologize to anyone I may have offended by that. However, if you are so easily offended, then leave the internet right now. I'm going to go back to Benjamin's comment. I didn't have anyone that I latched onto as a kid. I enjoyed the art. I latched onto my mother, but that's beside the point. And we've gone.
Oh man,
Benjamin, I'm sorry.
This is why people don't write in. You know that, right, Ian? It's because of these things.
Oh, I think I might have just let out a bit of wee. That was funny. I enjoyed the art most of all, with 94 Marvel Masterpieces being what really got me hooked. Yeah, you and a lot of folk. That was a cracking set. But now that I've gotten back into it, I definitely lean towards Thor being my favorite character. That's cool. Great. Really good one to go for. Lots of great Thor stuff out there. I love his devotion to his people and his overall kick-assness. Yeah, that's
fair.
It's fair. I really like the Thor art out there. It's super dark with lots of contrast between the storm clouds and bright lightning. Yeah. Benjamin, if you haven't already, check out Simone Bianchi's Ciao Simone work on Marvel Masterpieces 2018, because his Thor perfectly fits
exactly how you described. Yeah, for sure.
I'm in the process of building something that is Thor and Marvel card themed that I can't wait to share with the group. So stay tuned.
That's so cool.
Enjoy collecting, everyone. Enjoy collecting. Back at you, Benjamin.
Enjoy collecting.
That's really cool.
Happy collecting, by the way, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, whatever. just collect. So thank you, Benjamin. So those are the two new ones we had on the page, but we had a number of people sending stuff into us, and I'm kind of bewildered by the number of them there are. So Daniel Ehlers is the first one. Good evening, Daniel. I hope I've pronounced your surname correctly.
Hey, Daniel.
Daniel's new to us. He's on ePacks, and I think he's had some sort of operation on his leg, so he's in hospital. So he's basically just going in deep on ePacks. He's doing loads of because he's got nothing better to do. What better to do? And you can actually, again, when people ask what good is it having digital cards on ePacks, well, a lot of them aren't digital, as we've discussed.
Right.
You can literally be building your collection in hospital. You've got nothing else to do, but
and building it with physical cards too. I mean, could you imagine get out of there and then come home to an amazing?
Well, he can have it shipped, and he can be waiting for him when
Christmas. Yeah, I know a lot of people who are doing that.
Yeah, exactly. So he's a cool guy, and he sent us a really nice,
super nice,
statement. Just wanted to reach out and say thank you. The podcast and the Facebook page have been a big help for me while I'm in hospital. The hospital costs keep me buying from new cards. Yeah, I can imagine. but being able to make trades and hear the podcast made me smile. So I say thank you very much. So thank you for that, Daniel.
Thank you, my friend.
And then we had another one, Robert Baker I mentioned. There's another guy who emailed me months ago. So while we do that, do you want to find the physical letter that you received?
Yes.
Have you got that there?
I have it right here.
Do you want to read that out? Do you want to have a crack at that? Take a
My
run at that?
assistant has handed it to me off camera.
Oh,
Latest news. Hi, Norrin and Ian. By the way, Andy, you get dibs for putting my name first. Sorry, Ian. Here is here's the letter. I just wanted to pass on something special I had printed up. Thanks for doing the podcast every week. I've gotten many hours of enjoyment listening to you two. I stumbled upon your podcasts by chance and immediately enjoyed and started collecting, and it sparked the urge to collect once again. I collected Marvel cards early in the 90s, and I can say it's been a lot of fun being bad. The cards, so sorry, the writing's good. I just crumpled the paper there, so I'm just I've enjoyed collecting always. I really appreciate you guys. I can't wait to hear more episodes. I'm catching up now. Thank you again for everything you guys do. I can't say thank you enough. Again, here's something that I made for you guys. And the thing he made, and of course, enjoy collecting and happy holidays, Andy. The thing he made, which is pretty amazing, is he's actually made the checklist for Marvel Masterpiece 18 that I had on the site and our member cards into holograms and to actual card size.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So for those who know not what we're talking about, back on Marvel Masterpieces Collectors, probably almost a year ago now,
Wow.
when it was manageable to do so, I used to keep a spreadsheet of members that had joined and when they joined, and they were numbered. So we could tell who was member number 5, who was member number 17, who was member number 56, for example. And I think we got to about, I want to say 300-400. I haven't done it since, and it would actually be impossible to then further update that list. So if you're kind of on that list, it's kind of a legacy thing now, because you get to a point, unless you do it regularly, you don't see that the people have left. So the numbering kind of goes off, and also it is actually really, really manual to do it, because Facebook only gives you so much. You then have to copy and paste it. Anyway, by the by, so what we did is we my boy here, Norrin, he had this great idea of doing membership cards for the group, and they were kind of really cool looking things. If you had a character, they'd go on there, and yeah, they're brilliant. And you could claim it, and Norrin would very kindly knock it up for you by the magic of Photoshop. And so that's what we're talking about here. By the way, this is Andy Talaga, I should say.
Andy Talaga, yeah, he didn't put his last name. I always forget.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Andy,
super nice
great
guy.
Surname. I really like that surname. I've no
really
idea
cool
where it comes from in the world, but it's a cracking surname, and it always kind of makes me smile whenever I see it in a nice way, because it just kind of makes me happy, because I know you've always been really into the podcast, so thank you. It's one of our first iTunes reviews.
Such a gem. What a nice guy. And he did such a good job. Like, I was so impressed by him creating those pieces for us. It was so cool to see, like, because I made them for the group as like digital checklists, because printing can be so expensive. So being able to see it in person was so awesome.
So you also did the Marvel Masterpieces 2018 checklist, because checklist cards didn't exist for that. So you kind of made
We have that and MM16 too.
Oh, I forgot you'd done MM16.
Yeah.
Yes. So they're available on the group somewhere, I want to say.
In photos or a photo album. I can arrange it and fix it. And if you're interested in printing them for us, or printing some, or if you want them, period, I can just hand them. I can give you those JPEGs at a better quality if you want them.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we will put, well, first of all, we'll put a link to where they are on the tasting notes, so you can have a look at them. Or in fact, actually, no, we'll just put the images of them on the tasting notes.
Yeah, we could do that. That'd be cool.
Easiest way to do it.
I can lay them out.
Yeah. And then if you want them, just shout, and you can have the high res ones, and we can print them out. But
speaking about,
bless you, Andy. Thank you for
seriously. Thank you so much, Andy.
Doing that. That's really, really kind of you to do. How did you get your address? Is he stalking you?
Oh God, someone's at my door.
Is he outside right now in the black SUV
Andy?
across the street?
No, I think he must have messaged me and I must have given it out. I should get a PO box, but yeah, I just don't tell the other surfer collectors where my address is.
Oh,
Everyone else can have it.
I might have already passed that one on. Sorry.
Ian, come
Sorry.
on, man.
Anyway.
Speaking about printing, by the way,
Yes, go on.
I did want to give a shout out to a good friend of the podcast who also gave us a thank you, Fred Galvin.
Oh, yes.
Yes, who's been really awesome and instrumental. He has a page called Marvel Madness,
Yes.
where he has things he makes as well, like magnets, bookmarks, posters. If you can name it, he's made it. And they're Marvel logos. He does a bunch of really cool things like that. Usually goes to cons and so forth. And this will come up later, and we got a surprise coming from him. That's all I'll say for now before we figure out how we're going to do it. But I did want to give a shout out to him and a thank you to him and his support as well.
Cool. Yeah, Fred, another new guy to the group. So thank you, Fred. There's some really nice new guys in the group. So it's nice that they're there.
It really is really cool.
Another new guy in the group. He messaged me on Boxing Day, 26th December, and he a guy called Frank. His surname is Nania.
Oh, wow.
Nania, but I always read it as Narnia. But Frank, I'm sure you hear that all the time, so I apologise.
Poor guy.
Yeah, people just write in and I just insult them. I don't mean to. I don't mean to.
I don't think you're insulting anyone.
No, I'm just English. We tend to. The first thing we tend to do is just give people nicknames. So, yes. Frank messaged me over Christmas saying, just wanted to say hello, and I'm excited to be part of the group. I've been exploring, listening to your podcast, joined EPAC, and want more. I'm from the Chicago area, and I'm a hardcore. I'm going to say this because he has stepped out of the shadows now. I'm a hardcore Iron Man card collector.
Yes.
Love seeing the passion and nice black cat collection. Why, thank you. My Iron Man collection is all consuming. I have maybe 20-25 plates and 20-25 sketches. Wow.
He's a god. Well, I was
hardcore.
speaking to him. And I showed him a little bit of my stuff, and
right.
My jaw's still on the floor. I haven't picked it up yet.
Yeah, no, he's good. But since he posted this, he said here he's basically I'm close to the full plate set of 2018 Marvel Masterpiece of Iron Man. Well, since he sent this, he has actually posted the picture on group. I think he got the last one that he needed.
No way, really?
And yeah, he posted it on Marvel Masterpieces Collectors about. Yeah, I don't know. I want to say a couple of weeks back. Let me just pull it up while we're talking about it because
that's crazy.
Just wonderful. Let me do a search on Facebook. Bet your bottom dollar I'll type.
Phil's been posting so many good pieces for sale.
Yeah,
I think I missed it. And then Armand has Hella, who we're seeing so many rainbows now. We're
seeing some really good cards. Yeah, we're seeing people who've been patient and just bided their time and just built it. So
it's the way to go.
Here we go. So on the 11th of January, Frank posted, as a former black hole collector, I want to step into the light. Just completed my 2018 Marvel Masterpieces canvas plate collection of Iron Man.
Oh, man.
And have you seen the photo? Look at that.
I'm looking at the Iron Man right now.
Have you got? No, I've got it on screen because I'm sharing screen.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, my computer. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I had to move it so I could see your face because it opens it as full screen. Wow, look at that.
Look at that. Isn't that wonderful?
And those are great printing plates. Wow, that's my favorite.
It's such a nice image. So it's the Simone Bianchi art, and it's the gallery version of Iron Man, not the one that's on the box art.
I love that one the most. I like them both a lot. But
great
this
image.
I have more of a bias for this one.
So he's got the regular gallery, he's got the gold gallery, he's got the red, which is I think out of 25. I want to say it's quite limited.
It is.
And then he's got all 4 plates for it.
And then the canvas is also part of that.
Perfect rainbow. Yeah, that's the main gallery is called canvas.
It's called the main gallery. Yeah. I forgot. See, I didn't do the insert.
They're all gallery. It's just that the base one is called canvas because that's the type of card.
That's right.
But once you go onto the gold border one, which I've got, I went to gold border because they're lovely. It's actually. I remember when we did the Simone Bianchi episode.
Yes.
We talked about the fact that the gallery, because they're a matte texture and they're a certain type of stock, the image when it goes onto the glossy stock of the gold gallery, the image has a lot more vibrancy to it. The colors are really
I remember. Yes,
yeah,
yes, yes, yes,
and it's
yes.
just so it's so a lot of the stuff we were talking about on the episodes was obviously Simone's art, and when it's reproduced in certain formats, might not have the vibrancy it would do in real life or in certain light or on certain types of paper or whatever it might be. So that is a perfect example, and you can almost see it on that photo. If you look at the bottom right hand one, there is the canvas, and then it just looks a bit shinier and brighter when you move over to the gold gallery. So, but anyway, it's stunning.
Beautiful.
Well done, Frank. That's awesome.
Good job, man.
And there were loads of comments on there, but I think he replied back to yours saying, "Thank you, love the podcast. Much respect to your surfer collection." Yo, boy.
See, I already like him more
Much
now.
respect.
Like,
There we go.
I was really into him, and then he complimented my surfer collection, and now I'm just drooling over him.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so cool.
So thank you, Frank.
Thank you, Frank.
He's love what you do. Happy to help or contribute however you need. So yeah, it may well be, Frank, that you could be one of our character collectors we talk to for this episode. There's another guy called Brandon Bennett. Good evening, Brandon,
Yes,
who's
Brandon.
into Iron Man. Sorry, no, Iceman.
Iceman. And he has a crazy
He's got
Instagram.
a really good collection. Yeah. So
he's updating that thing like crazy, and he's
on it at the moment.
Collections on there. Every post is a new Iceman card. Some I didn't even know existed. Really cool.
He's really given some good Iceman love in social media. Who else? There's loads. We've got a Magneto guy in the group. We've got
and shout out to Felipe. Sorry, messed all that up.
Oh, Philippe Cagno.
Philippe for the Power Blast collection.
Yes, I think I gave him one of the last ones.
Yeah, I think you did. That's why. Yeah, that's what I was reading.
It was after it, and it was in the middle of another. It was kind of tied up in another trade. Shout out to an EPAC user called iPanda Cake. Bonkers name.
I dealt with him. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, who did a mega trade for some Power Blast for some comic cuts from Marvel 80. So I had to kind of move things around because it was already optioned on that one, and Philippe wanted it, so I kept Philippe hanging on a little bit because I had to make sure I didn't tip that trade over to get this trade for Philippe. So it's often difficult juggling that. So yeah, so a lot of people doing some good collecting at the moment. A lot of people managing to do it on a really nice budget as well. So they're kind of like you. They bought maybe a box, but they're actually trading that to where they want to go.
Yeah. I've
nice way of doing it.
I mean, man, I've cleaned house, no joke, on EPACs just by buying at least one box and then trading up and I actually got the comic clipping. I'm looking for a comic clipping that has Jubilee on it, but that's probably the last thing I'll look for because I'm going to try to go for like a Jubilee rainbow because I have the retro, the insert, and then there are a couple of comic clips out there that have Jubilee on them.
Oh, okay. So, let's just have a look at my comic clip, shall we, and see if
it's funny. I wanted to tell you, I got a 3D Weapon X insert, the comic cover, the Lunar, yeah. I actually, when you pulled yours, I had bought a pack right before you did, and I went to Facebook and I saw that you pulled it, and I was like, "What?" And then I got the one I wanted where he's in the snow.
So can you see my screen?
I'm trying to. Yes.
Let me just move this over here. So these are all the comic clippings I have so far.
Let me see. Oh, I'm so excited. I want to show you my stuff because most of my stuff's locked. So
there we go. So I've got 12. I've got 15 so far.
I'm so mad at you.
5 of them.
Are people trading like? So are you having to trade sketches for this, or are you having to trade?
No. I generally speaking, I hold on to the very few sketches I have for Black Cat sketches. Having said that, I did a trade this week. So this is the guy, Brad Buzzkill, I was talking about, who... No, was it Brad? Yeah, it was Brad. I pulled... I've only pulled 2 sketches for Marvel 80th. One of them was a Hellstorm card.
Yes, I saw that one.
And there's a guy who collects those who's doing me an off EPACs trade. and he is trading me a Fleer Ultra Spider-Man Black Cat PMG 1 of 5.
Oh, you told
The
me.
purple
Jeez,
one.
what a good one.
Yeah, it's in the mail to you on Monday.
Oh,
and once it lands, give me a shout, and then we'll
yeah, definitely. I actually got stuff for you, so I have to tell you.
So he's sending me that, but also Brad, the other one I pulled was one of the oversized sketches of Iron Man.
Oh.
And it turns out Brad's really into Iron Man, so he gave me a Black Cat sketch. He also gave me a comic clipping, I think, and he by his own admission, he said, I think I probably overpaid slightly, but I'm really into Iron Man. And the reason it is because his wife has always had heart issues, and so she's got a pacemaker. So for them, they feel a real affinity to that character.
That's so nice.
Because of this whole Tony Stark thing, and I thought that was such a Brad. I hope you don't mind me sharing that on the podcast, but I thought it was just such a sweet story of why someone is after a certain character. It's kind of really kind of such a snowflake, but it's quite a touching kind of thing, you know.
I'm the same way though. I love that.
Yeah. So
that's really awesome. Okay.
So anyway, so I did that, but I got
I want your New Mutants.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? There's some nice stuff going on here.
You have great stuff. I want that New Mutants one.
I'm sure you do, dear. Where are we? We got there's some really new stuff as well. Because
I like the new ones.
Previous sets has always associated comic clippings with the really old comics.
Yeah.
But this one, they've not done that. They've got some really recent stuff. They've got a Jai Lee one in Humans. They've got Frank Quitely's work on the new X-Men. Frank Quitely is, quite frankly, a god in art terms to me. He's in my top 5.
It's amazing.
I mean, he takes a long time. He's Scottish.
Wow.
He's in Scotland. But there was a documentary on BBC a few years ago about Frank Quitely, where it looked at artists and how they work, and there was an episode that featured him. There were artists from different spheres of art creation, and they just happened to focus on someone who was doing comic art. And at the time, he was working on Jupiter's Legacy, the series he did with Mark Miller.
Yes,
which I absolutely love. It's a stunning story. I really enjoyed it. And his artwork on that is incredible. But because he draws, he doesn't work as quickly as a lot of artists do in the comic world.
Yeah,
but his stuff is worth waiting for.
See that's awesome. Yeah. That's fantastic.
It's really interesting. So, and there's John Cassidy work there from Josh Whedon's Astonishing X-Men #1, which John Cassidy and Josh Whedon, their Astonishing X-Men run is in my top ever issues I own. I mean, it's just astonishing. So there's some really good stuff as well as older stuff. So John Romita Sr., Amazing Spider-Man, Klaus Janssen's Punisher, Mike Friedrich's Invincible Iron Man. There's a real range of stuff here. Some people you who maybe don't have the profile. Paul Smith, the Uncanny X-Men. You've got Frank Brunner from Giant Size Man Thing. Then you've got people who obviously everyone's heard of. So you've got George Perez, Mark Bagley, Neil Adams. But you've got writers as well as artists. So you've got
which I love.
Dan Slott, The Amazing Spider-Man 700. Bill Sienkiewicz there, of course.
Honestly, and so people know, the comic clippings, this is not a new occurrence. They did this before, and it's called archive cuts. Comic
cuts. Yeah, depending on the set.
Depending on the set, yeah. Just so you guys know some of the keywords, because I know if you're eBay hunting or anything like that, it might be hard to come across things. You know what I mean? Comic clippings. Just so you know some of the big keywords there. Oh, man, look at that piece. That Spider-Man is awesome.
It's great, isn't it? So I've just brought up on my screen the John Romita Sr.
Well, there's a Black Cat and Spider-Man in a black suit one. Have you seen that yet?
Yeah, it's on ComC.
It's on ComC. Okay, I thought I saw it somewhere to buy. I don't know.
Yeah,
you want that because she's standing with somebody, so I'm not sure if that's like your
No,
thing.
it's not that. To be honest with you, it doesn't. The comic cuts I want, and I don't really mind what's in the panel. That's the thing. A lot of people are picky about it and want it centered or want cover base or main characters and stuff like that. So believe it or not, within the comic cuts collections, there is a pecking order. So if it's a scene that might not be that defined or you can't really tell what it is, then it might be less desirable to people. So, for example, my Neil Adams X-Men has got Magneto in, so that would be very desirable. The Man
with
Thing's
a
got,
Sentinel and everybody fighting him.
yeah.
Like, no, you got like amazing
So
pieces.
these are decent ones, but there are some out there that literally are just something random that you can't really work out what it is, which is absolutely fine. I don't mind. I genuinely don't mind, and that actually
I like the ones
works
that
quite
tell
well.
the story. Like for me, like if I had a criteria, which it does not matter, but for me, I need cool framing.
Yeah.
I want to see a quote or something of the story inside there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the wording, because whoever did these did a very good job.
They do a good job.
They did really good job, and I think there's an artistry to making them.
Yeah.
In cards, and I think you don't really get that with any other insert.
Yeah.
Then
We should post a link. We should post a link again to the video where they showed how they made them for the first series they did them, which was
Are those your autos?
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you a serious question.
Go on.
For you and listeners, and I want to know: do you like seeing the artist's face on there?
Yes, although I've just noticed that Al Milgram's face isn't pictured on his.
No, it's not. Probably couldn't get the rights or whatever. So it's probably, I don't know. I mean, sometimes that's like that.
I have no problem at all. The Marvel Masterpieces 2008 set that had the writer autos, which was at the time it was called Marvel Masterpieces Series 3, but it was the third of the 3 sets that Upper Deck put out in 2007, 2008. So I refer to it as 2008B because it was the second set that came out in 2008.
I like that.
They've got the writer autos in there, and they're nice. And on the back, they have a picture of the writer as part of the back.
I like it on the back.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of it on the front.
Yeah, let's have a look at this one. So I've got a Marv Wolfman here, Amazing Spider-Man 200.
I love that. God, that looks so good.
Which is, let me think, who's the artist at that time? Is that Ross Andrew at that time?
Maybe it's on the back.
Let's have a look.
Yeah. So the artist
was Keith Pollard inside. There we go. Yeah. It's nice. It's a nice card. Yeah, it's got a picture of the issue. It hasn't got a picture of him on the back. I just really like them.
I love them.
They're my
clippings
wheelhouse.
have always been my favorite insert. I actually want to get like a little 9-page or the Jubilee one, so I think I might have to trade.
So I'll keep an eye out. I don't, as we saw from me going to that, I don't. That was quite.
Here, let me show you my collection real quick.
Okay, hang on. Let me stop the share on the screen. Talk amongst yourselves, listeners, while we change tires here on the Marvel Card Collectors podcast. I almost forgot what that podcast name was. My goodness me.
All right, you should see it now.
I can see your screen, dear. What
there we go.
Vast assortment of gorgeousness.
Gorgeousness.
While you're scrolling, by the way, have you seen the Morbius trailer?
Yes.
What say you?
You for real? You want to know?
Yeah.
Okay, it looks horrible, but it does. I'm sorry, but it does. It looks really horrible. I mean, I like Morbius. I think he's a cool character. I think there's a lot of cool imagery in the trailer, but I'm just wondering. I don't know, like what's the story? And it's a trailer. Trailers are not, you can't see everything in the trailer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I got my Spider-Man 2099 Power
Oh, you
Blast.
finally got the power. Brilliant. Okay.
It took forever, but I finally got it.
Good.
But yeah, that's it. I guess
what is it you were going to show me here? Were you going to show me something specific?
No, I was.
Was it a comic clipping?
Well, you've seen mine.
I don't think I have seen this one.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, I went ham. Like I saw someone pull this and I ran. Yeah, it's magic.
Special. Yeah, no, I don't have that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have one from that issue. I'm not sure. Turn it over. How many are there? There's 36 of those.
Yeah, it's one of the rare ones, but I lucked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I saw the cutout and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Because you can see the tail, you can see her armor. It's like the evil version of herself. And I read the comic book and I was like, oh, that's a really good panel to choose from. So yeah, I ran and picked that up real quick. And then I got this sketch from one of the people in the group, and now I can't remember his name, but he's amazing, and thank you. But I got the Colossus one.
Oh, you got a Colossus sketch. That's nice. Who's that by?
This is a really cool artist. I really like this sketch.
Ah, yes.
I haven't seen any of his others. I keep trying to find him.
Israel Artiega, is that?
I think so.
Yes, I recognise his signature. I've seen it. I've seen his stuff about.
I really like it. Sorry about
Did
that.
I just hear your dog?
You did.
Oh. Winnie, is it Winnie?
Winnie is the crazy cat.
Oh,
Nicholas is the
one
dog.
of these days I'll get the names right. I always remember them. I just
take care of that in a minute.
associate them with the wrong. the wrong.
Yes, but there is that.
Right. While we have a pause, and before I give thanks to our episode intro artist, I had a mail call this week from Jonathan Omega Hunter.
Ooh.
Good evening, Jonathan. His real name, real middle name isn't Omega, as far as I'm aware. That's just because he's a mad, Omega Man. I kind of call him in my head. He is a mad Omega Red fan.
Yes,
big time. I mean,
big time.
Properly. I mean, you think we're into our characters? He is virtually like worshipping at the altar of Omega Red over there in Jonathansville. So he sent me a mail call, and I just want to show you this on camera. I don't think you've seen it. So Marvel Annual 2018-19 Black Cat.
Oh, nice.
Not bad, that one, is it?
Good.
And that's by an artist called Jay Lipson, who I'm going to track down.
Lipson.
And it's just nice and clean. I do like the cardstock for Marvel Annual. It's nice. I mean, there's a lot of space at the bottom that you could argue artists could use that they've blocked out with that.
I like banners like that, though.
But I don't mind it at all. It kind of gives the sketch card a nice identity to it. And I like the backs to the Marvel Annual.
Oh, wow. That actually looks really good.
Yeah, it's nice design to it.
I hadn't seen a back of the Marvel Annual.
Yeah.
And this is 2018 to 19?
Yes, right, yeah. So this is good because I've now got, a sketch card from that set of Black Cat, which is good.
I love that. That's awesome.
So I'm really pleased about that. So that came to me via Jonathan Delgado. Good evening, Jonathan. JD.
Jonathan.
As I give everyone a nickname. And what else came from him? Well, speaking of comic cuts, as we were, because this episode wasn't going to be Ian's mail calls, but it is now. I have, oh my goodness, I think you saw these in the group. I've got about 10 Fleer Ultra X-Men comic cuts here.
Wow.
Now, in Fleer Ultra X-Men, they did single and double ones.
Oh, yeah, with the X and stuff.
There's a double one from Uncanny 290.
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful?
That's a great one. Bobby Drake, and then I forget who the other guy is.
No, it might be Forge, actually.
It might be Forge. I think it's Forge. I see the goatee.
And that's one of only 31 of those.
Wow. And that's one of the best covers of Storm ever.
It's a beautiful cover. And I think that is still Jim Lee. I want to say it's still Jim Lee's run. I think it is.
It looks like Jim Lee's work.
It does. And I've got another. Where are we? There's loads of single panel ones here. Let's just find one that will give you palpitations, shall we? I wonder if I've got Jim Lee ones in this, actually. Because if I have, then obviously, I know you're looking for one from a specific set, but where
I mean, I'm still interested.
Right, this is Uncanny X-Men 66. It's one of 107, so there's more of these. That's a single.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, I've no idea who the character is, but it's
very cool, awesome drawing, though.
Good. The only thing is, I've just realised this with these comic cuts from Fleer Ultra X-Men is although they give you the information about the issue on the back, they don't credit the creative team.
Well, I'm glad they changed that on the comic clippings for 80th.
Yeah. And I have a feeling they used to do it on earlier set comic cuts, so maybe it was just an oversight on their part. But I'm looking at that, and I kind of would. I mean, we can Google, we can all look, but I just think it's it would be nice to be able to see that when you're looking at the card. Anyway, I got those. So thank you, Jonathan. Those weren't all. Some of those were from him. Some of them were from another fella who I did a trade with. I think it might be John Cherinchak from Phoenix, Arizona. I know that because I think that's his user handle, John C from Phoenix. I think that's his user handle on ePacks, which is very specific, so
Yeah.
people can track it down. So this week's intro was from we're having a European vibe at the moment on the
Yes, we are.
let me share my screen again. Bear with me, and then I'll actually say who it was and talk about him because
Yeah, because we want to look at this
came
stuff.
across
Okay.
my radar recently on via the magic of Instagram. And then I think someone pulled one of his sketches and pulled in the group. Anyway, he came and joined the group. So, Tom, and I'm going to be very careful how I say your surname. On the intro, in your accent, it sounds like Shapemarker. When you read it, it looks like Sheepmaker. And I think when you sent me the message, you said it was actually Shipmaker. Its surname is Dutch for shipbuilder, I believe, which is
That's such a cool name.
But yeah, so Tom
I love that.
Sheepmaker, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Tom.
He is a fearsomely handsome fella. Just
Yes.
we are in the
Very
2020
good looking.
is the good looking artist club. He's a
Yes.
sturdy looking Dutch fella. He's also incredibly talented. Sorry.
I love sturdy. That's such a good adjective.
He is though. He just
No, he
looks
is. No,
like
he's very good looking.
I mean,
dude, yeah.
it looks handy. It looks like he could easily build your chimney. The I don't know why I said chimney.
Yeah, is that what does it for you? When
that
you
was
see
my
a guy who can make a chimney, and you're like,
that was my go-to. That was my
Hey,
go-to.
how you
If
doing?
you're going to build something manually, it's going to be a chimney.
It's got to be a chimney. That makes sense. I like that.
It is. It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
His intro on his Facebook page is "Art is Life." So,
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
yeah, I like where your head's at there. So let me show you some of his Marvel work on his Instagram.
Such
So his
good detail.
Instagram will be on the tasting notes, but it
Yeah.
is ts_art_design. Dutch professional illustrator in brackets 40. So I'm guessing you're 40. Netherlands. Creator of, and I'll talk about his creator-owned stuff in a moment. And he's got comics, realism, fantasy, tattoos. Founder of @dream_box_comics. So founder of Dreambox Comics, which is his own thing. So I'll come back to that. So let's look at his Marvel stuff first. I'm just scrolling down to the awesome stuff that he did for Marvel Premiere.
Oh.
Check that Ant-Man out.
Wow.
There's a lot of energy going on in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've no idea what the word would be to describe the style, but I really like the kind of vibrancy. It's almost feels like the lines are shimmering. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
It's the only way I can describe it.
Yeah.
Look at his gambit.
Oh wow. That's really cool.
I like that. I like the way the cards are kind of doing their thing. There's a lot of I like the fact that the cards have been given the room to breathe.
Yeah, I agree.
It's nice. Nice angle.
I love it. Great color too.
And it's very interesting. He's got he's got that Dave DeVries thing where you're going down the arm.
Yeah, it does have the Dave DeVries.
It flows the eye. Yes.
Yeah.
It's nice that. We'll come back to this guy. We'll come back to that guy. There's a lot of his own character stuff on here, which is brilliant. I want to show you this storm. This is the storm I wanted to show you.
Oh wow.
Isn't
love
that brilliant?
That looks great.
So yeah. So I love it. Cool. So Tom, I know you've been on Marvel Premiere. I can't remember off the top of my head which other sets you'd been on, so apologies for that. But you can have a look at all of his stuff on his. Oh, his
wow. The Venom is insane.
Well, I know you're a big Spidey 2099 fan.
I love that. Yes. See, I always appreciate when people draw Spider-Man 2099 and they put like futuristic architecture in the background.
Look, he's got him walking on the frame of the card.
That's
a Marvel Premiere. Marvel Premiere has got this kind of curved design, and Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara, is it? The character's name has got his foot on the frame.
That was smart.
The artist has.
It looks really good.
That was really clever.
And he made the frame red too, so it kind of goes with the location.
So loads of good stuff. He's got his own character called. I might mess this up, so I'm going to find it in his message to me. So he's got. Hope you like my own characters too. By the way, I run my own comic book label called Dreambox Comics.
Oh, awesome!
And he says, where is it? I'm scrolling down because we had quite a long conversation. My ideas lead to a community too, which I've been working on the last 2.5 years.
Wow.
We have our own upcoming card series as well as statues in the near future. So
Damn.
I'm kind of digging it because we've talked about creator-owned kind of comics and card sets
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Perna mythology ones, Achilles Kokonakis and his iconic literature sets. Obviously Axbone.
So
There's a number of others. So I'm really excited, Tom, to see what you're going to come out with here. And his character is called Ceratoid. And he says it's already been drawn and sculpted by 28 artists.
What?
Check this guy out.
Oh, that's so
Gnarly
cool.
does he look? It's actually come out quite small on my screen. I'm zooming, but it's not actually doing anything. So, oops. But
That's really awesome.
see that character on his Instagram feed as well.
Yeah, I see him in the
Just,
center.
yeah,
It looks great.
Where's his Instagram gone? There we go. I've got so many windows open. It's crazy. Let's find a picture of Ceratoid.
Ceratoid.
Where is he? Is that him? Has he got
Yeah.
wings?
He's got wings.
Is that Ceratoid?
That's so cool.
I don't know. Is it Ceratoid? It is Ceratoid. Sure. Yeah,
Ceratoid's
got wings. Sorry, the first picture I saw of Ceratoid, he was standing with a sword. So
yeah,
I didn't clock that he had wings as well. So yeah,
very cool.
It's kind of a dinosaur crossed with a minotaur crossed with a. Wow, that's trippy. I like it.
Very awesome.
I like it.
Yeah, me too.
I look at it and I think, my goodness, that must be so difficult to draw.
All the details, the bumps, the scales, the textures.
Like, imagine doing that at scale and at volume in having to actually do a comic. So you're going to be doing this
stuff like that.
Yeah, my son. So crack on. He sent me a photo of his workspace.
That's a cool workspace.
Which I won't share on the tasting notes because he's just sent it to me.
It's a stuff. That's a sick predator.
But yeah, and he posted. He actually he did take it down because it's not a Marvel character, but it's he posted a predator on the group the other day.
Cool.
And he swiftly swapped it out with Spawn being captured by someone else Marvel related, which I quite like. Anyway, So Dreambox Comics has also got a Facebook page, so we'll post links to all of these up here. You can see that Ceratoid drawn by someone else. Look there, different artist. So I'm liking the fact that here we go. Look, he's done this. He's obviously done this thing. Where he's had different artists draw his character, which I think is really clever. So straight away, you've got the base for a really good card series.
Wow.
One character drawn by lots of different artists.
Yeah, no, that's really. I've seen a few artists do that. I love that idea. It's so much fun.
It's fun.
What a great way to engage the community.
So yeah, so Tom, I thank you for coming on board with this Crazy Ass podcast, and thank you for listening and sharing your kind of what you're all about. He's I don't know if he's worked on many Marvel sets apart from Premiere at the moment, but he's got a lot of other Marvel pieces that he's done himself, so he will be sharing those in MCCW for us.
That's so
cool. So thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom. That was awesome.
What was I going to talk about next? I was going to talk about, I had something else up my sleeve for this episode, because while we spent the first half of it talking about how awesome people think we are, so what led to my intro where I was talking about the spelling of your name and auto-corrected? One of our artist friends, Andre Ausch.
Yes.
I always mess up your surname. I'm sorry, Andre. I'm just going to call you Dre from now on because your Instagram is @Dre Studios. He sent a message. And what did he say? I'm scrolling through my messages. And in the message, he said, well, first of all, he gave us some inside information about something that I can't talk about because I don't want to get him in Barney Rubble. But then he went on to say, on a separate note, as a collector, what do you look for in a sketch, in brackets, beside the character? What makes you select card A over card B?
Ooh, this is a great question.
And I said, thanks for this, deeply intriguing. Let's have a think, and we might answer it on the podcast. He said, that's perfect. That way I don't need to ask Norton the same question. It's like,
Too
and
full
it's like,
special, you
and
and
I just sent a laughing emoji. I said, I'm so going to call him Norton this week, and he replied, spell check
No.
win. So yeah, so that's a good question. That so what as a collector, beside the character, what do you look for in a sketch? What's your Pepsi challenge? What gives you card A over card B? And this kind of leads on from your choice of magic last week. We had those
Yeah.
two options. So that's actually quite interesting. I had that in mind when you showed me that, but we didn't have time to talk about this last week.
Okay, so I'll go first. So I break it down probably into 3 factors because I'm very, 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 very picky about sketch cards.
You are.
Extremely picky about sketch cards. I've always been that way. Not that I don't appreciate all the art and all the different pieces. It's just that for me, so there is something in my head, and I'm sure hopefully other collectors can relate.
Mm-hmm.
Ian collects amazing sets and all this stuff, and he can have mountains and mountains of amazing cards around him. That gives me a little bit of anxiety.
Tell me about it.
I love it.
I need to
It's
sort
one
them.
of those things that I look at and I'm like, I wish I could commit to that. I do have a full set minus T4 of MM60 and MM18.
Yes, you said.
Which I'm very proud of. And, being in the group, that convinced me to get the full sets because it's just really important to have them because they're beautiful. So first things first, what I look for is I have to see the personality of the character in the sketch. That's a huge thing for me. I have to see the personality in the sketch. So like when we saw the magic difference of like magic being in the center as opposed to magic looking up and having that more dynamic composition.
Yeah.
That for me personally is magic. That kind of defiance, looking up at the big monster, horns in the sky, that kind of stuff. That for me is that character. So personality is a huge thing. Like I'm hunting for a really amazing Jubilee sketch card right now, which I posted in the group. Oh, what a cool binder. I love that. I'm like a little kid. I get distracted when I see Ian pull stuff out.
Sorry.
Yes. So personality. So like I have a Mystique sketch, and I hunted for a good Mystique sketch for a long, long time, for probably like over a year.
You were looking for a while, weren't you?
For a while, and I finally found her, and it was the Alex Magno. Magno?
Magno, yeah.
Magno, who's an amazing artist who I actually started talking to on Instagram, so we might get an intro from him very shortly.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
But he's super awesome.
I've got one of his pieces.
He's such a good artist, and I love his colors. Like his colors are always really right. But he captured her for me, what I thought of Mystique being like really edgy and like kind of this really like Judge Dredd kind of character where it's like super hardcore kind of stuff. Like, that kind of Mystique. For me, that's the Mystique I want. So that's the sketch I gone for because that kind of matched her personality. The second thing I go for is that I look for details. So it's either details in 2 ways. One, it's a really thorough card, like it was thought out in terms of like having a backdrop, composition, framing, like that kind of detail. Because it doesn't really matter, for me at least, because I like sketchy sketch cards. I like full rendered sketch cards. So I'm an in-between guy. So like I have a Colossus actually that fits this perfectly. He is at an angle and he's facing down with his fist out.
Oh, yes. I think I've seen
X behind him. There's an X behind him, but there's no bottom half. So it's like this really beautiful like bust composition of Colossus. And he's not standing or anything. It's just, it's this graphic that's complemented by, a snippet of the character. That for me is my Colossus sketch because I'm like, perfect. Like that fits the X-Men logo. It fits him. Like everything works really well together.
But the character comes through.
Right. That fits the detail for me. Like the thinking through it type of thing for the artist. Like that I appreciate. And I think the last thing, really, what it comes down to, as a collector, things can put me off about a sketch card that has nothing to do with the sketch card. Either the collector, how it came about, who had it or who was interested in selling it. Did it go well? Did I find it by myself? Was it a good hunt? You know what I mean? Like that's the difference between me getting something of an AP, like an artist proof,
Yes.
as opposed to me getting a pack pooled card. Most of the times I will preference a pack pool card because my APs would be something of like a personal journey, as weird as that sounds. You know what I
No,
mean?
that
Like,
doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't sound weird at all.
yeah, like if there's an artist I really like I love Toma. I'm a huge fan of Toma, and I got like 3 things from Toma.
Yes.
And it was so much fun to talk to him and to get cards, and that was really great. And for me, that was like, all right, I need that in my collection. And Charlie Cody and Tony Perna, you know, I got to get one from Elena. And you know, I pick certain artists and do that from who I'm able to do that from. You know, and that's always been a really that's really the third criteria is like, what's my personal connection for it? Did this come up on eBay in the middle of the night with like 15 watchers and it hit all my other criteria and I was like, mine, and I got it? That's a huge part of my collection too.
Yeah.
So for me, as long-winded as that was, I would say that's how I always do it. And that keeps me from spending a lot of money because otherwise I would buy everything.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, for me, my appeal for sketch cards is the character. I've pulled the most incredible sketch cards in the past and had zero personal connection to them, as good as they may have been, because it's not my character.
Yeah, because you pull crazy good stuff.
So it's quite I mean, I've pulled some that that people would give their left arm for, and then some that are probably less desirable for whatever reason. Not to dismiss them in terms of their quality or talent, but,
right? Yeah.
But yeah, it's the way it goes with sketch cards. Some float more people's boats than others. So so for Black Cat, for me, it's a tricky one because of the type of character that she is. It's often a bit pin-uppy. Which is kind of the nature of it. And what I like are the ones that play on that in a certain way. But yeah, it is definitely character. Character comes into it. If there's some sort of motion involved or perception of motion, doesn't necessarily that the character is necessarily moving, but it just means that there's something to intrigue you. So, for example, I'm going to show you a sketch here. I wouldn't say it's my favorite sketch, but it kind of sums this up quite nicely. So this is a sketch from Spider-Man Archives by Christos Tomo. I can't remember the artist's surname now. So I'm going to put that up there. Where is my camera? There we go. Right.
Oh, I love that.
So nice. So if you can see.
Oh, that's one of my favorite artists, man.
Yeah. So if you look at it, but if you take a look at that, and for me, there's a suggestion that she's still, but her hair's moving.
Yeah. No, he has personality. Like, I feel like that.
But I also like
always does
the fact that her eyes seem to be looking past you as a viewer.
Oh man,
that makes sense.
So cool.
It sounds weird to say, but they look like they're looking past you, not at you.
No, I agree 100%. There's this weird kind of like life behind the eyes that some artists can do really well.
So that,
and I feel like that
one,
artist does that consistently.
Yeah. So that one for me, that one floats my boat. Another one that is possibly, and this is no disrespect for all the other artists out there, possibly, and it is my avatar and has been my Black Cat avatar for many years, until Tony and Elaine sent me that wonderful card. This is by an artist called Oak, who I've never heard of since. I believe it's South American, the artist. Spider-Man Archives, and it is simply just her face.
That's one of the best Black Cat sketches I've ever seen.
And just the eyes, just the skin tone. Look at what he's done with the skin tone.
Wow. Look at that penciling.
Yeah. This is a beauty of...
well, Oak in Rittenhouse is just amazing stuff.
It's just... and you look at the whole piece, it's just a headshot. It's like a passport photo almost.
But it's perfect.
But it is absolutely perfect. And it is that one single sketch card, that's the one. I'd already bought a few, but when I saw that one, that lit the fuse. That was the one that was like, okay, yeah, I'm going in. And from there on, it was relentless for a good 2-3 years.
You know what's funny about that? We really should have a poll or something, because that is 100% what happened to me and my sketch card collecting. I'm not even kidding you. That's so funny you said that, because that's exactly what happened to me. It was one card that I picked up,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what made it 100% happen for me.
Yeah.
Me,
Yeah. It's
I'll
bizarre.
show
I mean,
you
I've
real quick.
got.
'Cause we'll put it on tasty notes.
Yeah, absolutely, it will. And there's one more I wanted to show you, which kind of sums up what I look for, certainly in relation to the character I go for. But it is a very, very clever use of the format. Oh, there's two here. So first of all, we've mentioned Alex Magno. I've realised that I do have 3 of his pieces, at least, in going through my folder here.
I'm a huge fan, yeah.
This one you've seen, and I have put out there. That's a very, 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 very clever.
See, that's what I'm talking about,
Use.
though. With him, like, setting is
So-
such a key component
So
of
it's basically, she's very small in the frame of the card. It's looking up at her with the moon behind her, and she's on the top of a building, very
That's amazing.
moodily, like Batman does. Stands on top of buildings, just looks moody, and she's ready to pounce. She's ready to go.
But look at the
Apologies,
leaves
it hasn't. It
that are
hasn't.
also there.
Yeah, it hasn't focused. The camera's not focusing for some reason very well, but you can kind of get the gist of it. But that's on the same page in my binder as this one. And this is what I mean by playing with the format and the proportions. There's pause while we get that out.
Ah, man, I love that card.
Right, so that's Joe Picar.
Joe
Who
Picar is one of my
did some
favorites.
amazing works. And just look at what he's done with the perspective on this one. I mean, not to mention her boobs look like they're going to pop out the card at you, but that's beside the point. But what he's done with the perspective is just wonderful.
I love the color too.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a good card.
It's
Like
it's
oh
a
my
brilliant
gosh.
card. I love that card so much, and I bid hard for that on eBay. That was a tough
I would
win.
have. Yeah, I would
That
have
was a
definitely
tough win.
purchased that. Plus,
Um,
it's also Divas, which is amazing card
Yes.
shot for her.
yes, yeah. So, so I guess for me, it's
What a great
yeah,
piece.
it's similar to you. It's the personality's got to be there. It great use of perspective and the space in the card. She's obviously the main thing in the card, but she doesn't
Mhm.
have to take up all of the card. Look at the use of white space on this Stephen Miller one. I'm
I
showing
love that.
you. Literally, she's half the card is empty. But it's what? Sorry, this
It demands such good presence, though.
Yeah, but look, it's like, what's she looking at?
Wow, great
It's the
face.
suggestion of what she's doing, what she's looking at. Is she waiting for something? What's she doing?
Yeah,
I really like it. I mean, I'm going to be.
it's nice, man.
photos of these
I love it.
notes, but
I like blank space on cards, though. I like
I
when
do.
the white card stock too, because like
yeah,
it complements it. And the
Yeah.
Surfer is really good for that because you can leave those
Yeah.
those empty spots there,
yeah.
and the white of the card can create that kind of similar effect.
So I
And
think it's
hair,
less is more.
yeah, like with the
you know,
oak piece,
Yeah.
like that oak piece you showed me, like that's her face that's done
Yeah.
completely in detail, and the hair is just
Yes.
black ink. Like
Yes.
that's so smart.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, some artists use the entire palette and then some and create this entirely otherworldly kind of thing. Alcione is one of those artists on this one.
I love that card. Wow.
And this is one of 3 that I've got that do this style by him from the same set.
I think you've shown me these. I love this.
I have, yeah. This went on the group on the sketch bow. If I do it,
I love the fur on the gloves and the boots. Like
Yeah.
it looks like
it's
it
kind
looks
of got
just
the
so
night
cool.
sky kind of background on it
Yeah.
as well.
Great piece.
It's wonderful, and so the ones that do that, and then the third thing I was going to talk about on this is, and we kind of almost did it with Tom SCHEEPMAKER, his card there, where you use the medium that you're doing lend an element of surprise and delight to the card. And I'm specifically looking for something here where you play with it. So that character that had their foot on the frame of the card, that was actually a physical thing. Where is this card? So there's an artist, I don't believe that she is still active in Marvel cards, but she was very active for a period of time, called Nicole Goff.
Oh man, she's so good.
I mean, I'm sure she still is, I'm sure, but I haven't seen her active recently.
I'm sure she is.
She
yeah,
did
obviously.
on Spider-Man Archive. She did 2 cards that she marked cut card, 2 of 2. This is And what she's very cleverly done, she's drawn a black cat from behind, but then she's put
I
as if
remember
black
this one.
cat's claws have made holes in the card. So she's actually cut out from the
Wow.
card.
Wow.
I mean, I'm glad I'm showing you this on video because you can actually see it. This didn't intend to be an Ian shows off his black cat sketch collection episode, but that is kind of what it is. So
Wow.
yeah, so she's actually done something interesting with the
Composition in the frame.
Yeah, and she's
She's made
played
the
with
card
she's kind
something
of
else.
played with the medium that the image is
Played with the
coming
medium.
over in,
Beautiful.
which I really like. So I guess there's a number of ways you can go
That's
about
really
this.
cool.
That's
so cool.
And I think in some ways a lot of the printed card sets do this. So Upper Deck have been doing this a lot, and they did it a lot on Marvel Masterpieces 2018, where Simone's pieces would have the kind of the frame, the border that went around the artist. They would make that go behind the character's head or behind the arm,
I
or
love
their
that.
leg would come before the
Yeah.
frame. And
Foil
the kind of
border.
they've just made it become. They've unified it, I guess is the best way to phrase it.
No,
they've
it's
just
super
made
smart.
it
I mean, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. So I think if you can pull that off in a sketch card, that's kind of winning. And I know you've only got a certain amount of time to do it, and you're probably not being paid an awful lot to do it. But certainly that is where I would come from for it.
Well, that's also what this group and the podcast is trying to do. You know what I mean? Yeah, these people are not getting paid quite a lot, but by hopefully promoting them and getting like APs and giving them that cash, right?
Yeah.
That kind of, they can be paid back for all their hard work, because 100%
Absolutely.
it is definitely undervalued in terms of payment.
Yeah. And also to be a stepping stone to
stepping stone. Yeah, I mean, what a great way. I mean, there are, no joke, there have been sketch card artists who have gone from sketch cards to trading cards into comic books in Marvel, and it is a way of kind of having a portfolio.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things about the Rittenhouse years, which we're going to have an episode on.
We are going to have an episode.
There is so much ingenuity and creativity that goes on with those sketch cards. I don't know what it is, but those Rittenhouse sketch cards, Spider-Man Archive, Fantastic Four Archive, those like just kill me. X-Men Archive, Wolverine, like it just really spectacular pieces and such a good arrangement of artists. I don't know. I'm always obsessed with Rittenhouse sketch cards.
Yeah,
for sure.
I just something about the, not to dismiss Upper Deck's work at the moment, but something about the Rittenhouse stock, the variety of artists they had there, the creativity on display there,
the way they design their sketch card. Just the blue line thing where you would have that on like actual comic book layouts, like I just, all of it feels so perfect in my mind. If I had to pick a favorite sketch card kind of stuff, it would definitely be one.
So I guess, I mean, the eyes have it for me with Cat. So Andre, I don't know if that helps illustrate that. That's just our opinion, of course. Other collectors might feel differently.
Right.
So I guess this is a good point to remind everyone that we do take voice messages on Anchor. .fm/MCCP. You can leave us a voicemail. So if you collect sketches and you have a different perception, or you want to back up anything we've said, then leave us a voicemail. This is kind of your opportunity.
We'd love to hear it.
Having said that, we did have a message. I keep saying we're going to talk about it, but I don't think we are on this episode now. We had a question from Tyler. Sorry, Tyler, you've probably sold these cards now. But he sent us a really good question, but we're not going to do that this week because I do want to talk about something else. I'm going to do a little bit of business before we go on to this last thing we'll talk about this week. I want to give a shout out to Rebel Base Card Podcast. Greg, who in his first episode of 2020 did drop a mention for us. So thank you for that, Greg.
So nice.
I'm really, really excited to hear what he's got coming up this year. So I like the fact that he's kind of gone on to a slightly different visual for this year as kind of a second season for his podcast.
Yeah, I love
that. He's moved on the artwork to be the second Star Wars set. which I think is a really clever idea. Hats off to you. And then another podcast who've dropped a mention for us. It's called Meanwhile at the Podcast, or Meanwhile ATP. And they've started tagging us on stuff on Instagram, and so I've kind of started doing likewise. I guess at some point we will cross over with them. I've had a listen to your podcast, guys, and I think it's kind of the Seinfeld of podcasts, because it's kind of a podcast about, I'm not sure what it's about. Might be a podcast about nothing. They just kind of talk about stuff that they're into, and they kind of review things. And
That's nice.
yeah, it's great. I love it. I'm not sure who. I'm not yet. I haven't listened to many yet. I'm fairly new to it, but I've kind of got the. I think there's a core 3 of them, but none of them were together on episodes for quite a while. So they had quite a lot of guest people. So I think what's confused me is I've listened to some of the episodes with guest people, but now they're all back together. And that's the first episode I've heard with all 3 of them on, and I'm like, I'm like, okay, I don't actually know you guys, but you're all back together, but I don't actually know you because it's the first time I've heard you, which is absolutely cool. But it's I'm still kind of getting my head around everyone who's there. But one of the guys on it is a guy called Rodney, who is, I believe your surname is Roberts, I'm going to say, and he goes by the handle of the Art Nerd. NERRD. Let me find this. Art Nerd. Sorry, Norrin. I will get there.
It's okay. I'm listening.
Art Nerd. Where is he? Where is he? I know I follow him, so why is he not coming up when I do a search on my Instagram? Who knows? Rodney, you hiding from me? You are, aren't you? The Art Nerd. Here we go. Rodney Roberts. He's an artist, designer, and podcaster, and he's a host of at Meanwhile ATP, and he's an artist for Tops and Upper Deck. So he was on Marvel 80th, for example. And what would be really meta is if, as a podcast host, Rodney would do an intro as an artist for our podcast.
I love it.
Wouldn't that be bonkers?
It would be bonkers, and I'd be in.
So Rodney, come and do an intro for us, please.
A call to action.
And then we'll give. But he's retweeted stuff that we've done. Retweeted, he's rebranded or whatever it is on Instagram. So, but he does loads of Star Wars stuff, which is, I think, maybe where him and Greg have connected. And so yeah, but he's done some cracking Marvel work as well. I'm just looking at his Instagram feed. Anywho, so we'll talk about.
That's really cool.
When it's his turn to be pimped and introing. So, so I just wanted, it was a quick aside, and I also wanted to say that this week we are on another podcast platform, which I didn't realize we had to be added to it manually, so I did it. We're now on
That's awesome.
Stitcher, which I have heard of. It's not so big in the UK, but I think it's quite a big deal in America. It's quite an established platform.
I've never heard of it, but I am sure it is.
I think it's kind of podcast radio. So I think Kevin Smith did a lot of stuff on it. Oh, maybe. So anyway, we're on there. I log in and there's nothing to see on the analytics because we only went on there 2 days ago. It just says you have no audience. So if you're listening to us on Stitcher, then, or if you're not, but you prefer to listen to us on Stitcher, then you can now do that, which is marvelous. So what I wanted to do now was I mentioned promos. There have been 2 comic book launches that Marvel have done in the last few months where they have released promo cards that are giveaways that comic shops do.
Oh, that's right. We talked about it. Yeah.
So this is the first one. I've got it in hand and I was going to open it for you right now. So this
Let's do it.
From Dawn of X. So if you went to well, I think the idea was that they did midnight signings and stuff, and or day one release. So when they did Powers of X, House of X, they started off and they relaunched all the X-Men titles. So you had X-Men 1, you had Excalibur 1, you had a number of, I think you had 6 core titles. So what this is, it's a little cello pack, and I'll put pictures of these on the tasting notes, but I've got 2 of them. And I'm going to open one of them now so that Norrin and I can experience them for the first time. So this is a little cello pack, and it does have inside it 6 cards, and they're the covers of each of the launch titles.
Oh, that's awesome.
The Dawn of X kind of thing. I mean, Dawn of X was the umbrella title for X-Men 1.
Yeah.
And so this is the sound of the cello pack.
Heaven.
And it's a clear cello pack, so it's not a wrapper I'm going to keep necessarily, but I will keep one of them sealed. So there we go.
Yeah.
So let's crack this puppy open.
See, that's a master cracker right there. You know what you were doing.
And so first card, which you can see through the packet, is Excalibur 1 front cover.
Such a good cover.
Which is nice. And on the back, it's got it gives you the creative team, yada yada.
Wow.
And interesting, I know you haven't read Hoxpox yet, but there's this language, this X language, that flows throughout that's very much part of the design style of the whole X-Men relaunch.
That's really cool.
Flows through all of the books, and it'll make a lot of sense when you read it.
Oh, that's awesome.
But that's throughout. Apparently, this makes some sort of message when you put all the cards together. But anyway, I don't know. Issue 1 on sale October 2019. So this reminds me of those. You remember in the 90s, you used to get promo cards that.
Yeah, they're part of the hobby now. Like you collected for collectors.
So this is the return of those. Because Marvel haven't done this kind of thing for a while.
In a while.
So next card is, that's beautiful, Fallen Angels 1.
Oh, Psylocke.
Psylocke. And these are nice cards. They're glossy.
They're really nice. And they're nice, clean corners, good layout. I mean, they're nice.
And it tells you, here we go. So on the back, I thought it was Creative Team, but I've actually properly used my eyes and read it. It tells you the characters in there. Don't miss this all-new series featuring Cable, Psylocke, X-23.
Wow, that's
cool. Clever. That's very clever. So on the back of Excalibur, Captain Britain,
Jubilee,
Gambit, Julie, Rictor, I'm not familiar with, and Apocalypse.
Rictors. Yeah, back in the day, man.
Right, here we go. So here's X-Men 1. Now that's the series I have been buying, so I've got X-Men 1.
Wow, that looks cool.
That's a nice cover. So it is the front covers of the comics, basically. The first issue stars Corsair, Cable, Vulcan, Marvel Girl. Interesting, Jean Grey, going back to her initial moniker. Havoc, Psylocke, Cyclops, oh, crikey, I can't talk. Cyclops, Prestige, and Wolverine. That's nice. So there's that one. Marauders. Marauders issue 1.
That's a cool group.
You see that okay? There we go, that's better.
Wow.
Takes a while to focus. I've got an old iPad, so
that's okay.
And that
I love the artwork on that.
Storm, Pyro, Iceman, Kitty Pryde, Lockheed, Bishop, Emma Frost. There is something for everyone. New Mutants. Hey, there's your one.
Hey. Oh, that looks really good.
You'll probably wait for the trades on all this, won't you?
No, actually, but yeah, I'll wait for the trades. Yeah, I'll definitely wait for the trades.
Because I noticed they've been soliciting them, Dawn of X Volume 1 and Volume 2.
Yeah.
So I think
I'll just wait
it's collecting across the titles as opposed to just getting New Mutants.
That would be cool.
Yeah, so you're getting the whole story because it's told across multiple comics.
Wolfbane.
Yeah, so that's nice.
Mirage. I like Mirage a lot. I like them all.
Chamber's in it as well.
I like Chamber.
I love. Well, I was a big
design
Generation X
coolest.
fan. Yeah, I was a big Generation X fan.
Yeah.
And the last one.
Who's your favorite X-Men?
Who's my favorite X-Men? Good question. Can I come back to you on that one?
Yes, please.
Let me think about that. X-Force.
Oh,
number
Domino.
1. That's got Black Tom, Beast, Colossus, Wolverine, Domino, Marvel Girl, Sage, and Kid Omega. Or Omega, depending on how you pronounce things. Who's my favorite X-Man? Oof, that's a
I don't know
tough
who
one,
my favorite X-Men is.
Let me have a look through this list of characters. It kind of flip-flops.
Me too.
I mean, I've always got a soft spot for Wolverine, of course. Always got a soft spot for Wolverine.
My soft spot is definitely Gambit.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Gambit fan.
I'm not sure. It's probably going to be Kitty Pryde, actually. I think I'm going to go with at the moment.
Kitty Pryde's a good one. Yeah. That's awesome.
I think so. You get 2 for the price of 1 there because he's got a dragon on his shoulder.
Lockjaw.
And there is a 7th card. I thought this was the back of one of the other cards, but this is the decoder card that tells you what the symbols are. Tells you the letters that the symbols are.
Very cool.
So basically, you can then work out what it says on the back of each of these cards if you were to spend time doing it. So that's the alphabet,
I love it.
the X language. I think that's the language of Krakoa, which is the mutant.
Right?
Yeah, you need to read Hulk's box.
Yeah, I know a little bit about the story, but I got to read it.
So there's actually 7 cards in there. That's
Wow.
nice. And I picked that up in Boston. There was a comic shop that I went into, and they had some spares, and they said, "Yeah, just take them as long as you're buying something." So I was like, "I'll grab 2 packs." So yeah, there we go.
Awesome.
So that's a really nice. They came out about 3 months ago, maybe September, October time. There is another one that's just come out that coincided with the release of Thor issue 1. You know, the Donny Cates relaunch of Thor.
Yes.
So this literally came out a couple of weeks ago, and there are 4 cards in that one, and it's the same gimmick. It's images from the series in a little sample pack that you got at release. This one, however, has an interesting extra thing going on. I will try and get this up on screen while we're talking. There is a bonus 5th card that comes in some packs, and it's the hidden Donny Cates variant. So basically, there's a 5th card that's got a picture of Donny Cates on it.
That's hilarious.
Let me bring this up on screen. And so here we go. So Donny Cates. I'll go away with your cookies notification. So there we go. So there's the thought. So 4 participating comic shops launch parties, all month long event with giveaways and things like that. So these are the trading cards. Let me bring this up on screen. If it will load for me. So there's the tweet from Marvel. So these are the launch party trading cards.
Lady Sif.
So Lady Sif.
Thor looks cool.
No, that's
like
Lady Sif. Sorry, there we go. First one with Thor.
She looks good.
And there's
Hammer.
Stop, Hammer time. And Hugin and Moonin. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not really a big Thor reader. I won't lie to you. However, I do want to get these because sucker for a limited edition. There's the Donny Cates card.
That's a pretty funny picture.
And I was reading Donny Cates' Twitter. Someone asked him, "Did you know this was going to happen?" He said, "Yeah, I knew it was going to happen, but it's really weird seeing a photo that someone took of you on holiday on a trading card." So it's yeah, I think it's really clever. So I'm just kind of really pleased that Marvel are doing those again.
Yeah, me too.
It's a nice little thing, and they're very collectible. They're not necessarily valuable, the ones from the 90s. Some of them are a bit tough to track down, but they're just nice to have because they're a real time capsule of, comic promotion.
Of what was coming out at the time.
I like those. So so that was kind of my
those are amazing.
Yeah, I just wanted to open that pack and talk about them on the episode and just say
I love it.
If anyone from Marvel ever does listen to us, I'm doubtful. They've probably got things to do. Thanks for doing them. Yeah, keep doing
Seriously.
it. Please. I did tweet at them from our podcast account to say, keep doing them.
I love it.
Yeah, I like it.
That's really cool.
So there we go. That's it for this week, folks. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
I feel like we've gone all over the map today.
I think we did well, though. I've enjoyed every topic.
We have. Wonderful. It's been awesome as ever. Leave us a review. Send us a message. Tell your friends. Buy some cards. But above all, Norrin,
enjoy collecting.
Boom. Thanks for listening to the Marvel Card Collectors Podcast. You can subscribe via our home on anchor.fm/MCCP. Leave us a message via that link with questions, comments, or just to say hi, and we may even play on the show. We're also on iTunes, Spotify, and all major podcast platforms. Our podcast is at the MCC Pod on Facebook and Twitter, and you can find links on our Facebook page to the 2 groups MCCW, Marvel Card Collectors Worldwide, and MMC, Marvel Masterpieces Collectors. On Instagram, find us at MMCollectors and at SketchCardHive. The great music we use is called Rocket Power by Kevin MacLeod. Thanks to the collectors, artists and creators who support the Marvel Cards Fan Collective. We'll see you next time, and remember, it's a small hobby but a fun one. Make mine Marvel and enjoy collecting.